but just run a Nightmare Dungeons. Watching YouTube over here on the phone. I was just looking at a Naruto game on the PlayStation Network that I'm probably going to get. Don't know if I'll stream it, but I really like the show. You know, specifically Shippuden and Boruto. So I'm thinking that Naruto game might be kind of fun.
So their explosions can have a meaningful end. So to use it, Necro had to acquire a very forbidden kinjutsu in order to make explosion release relative. As an example, like I said, it's a bit of a stretch. Unfortunately for all you ladies and gentlemen, we are now heading back to novel overlay territory, because next up on the list is Mud Release. Haven't heard of Mud Release? That's because it only exists in Akatsuki Hiden, a light novel comprised of stories about what the Akatsuki did when they weren't either getting killed or killing Jinchuriki. Probably Naruto's best light novel. I recommend giving it a Mud Release, a combination of water and earth chopper releases. And you're saying those are the combinations for wood release. And you're right, it is also a combination for wood release.
There's a cat on my lap too.
Because nobody thought that Mud Release existed, because the combination already belonged to wood release. In fact, when Hidan met the wood release user that he meets in his chapter with Kakuzu, he thought Mud Release was a lie. But it's not. It's very real, and in fact, it's relatively powerful. In fact, it allowed one user of Mud Release to fight on par with Hidan and Kakuzu for a little bit. So obviously, Mud Release operates a lot like Magma.
Yep, there's a cat, and I have a light up sword because I'm weird.
The user is able to control large masses of earth. And the way that we've seen Mud Release used is kind of terrifying, actually. You see, we've seen Mud Release used in very similar ways to Magna Release, specifically the way that Gaara uses his Seiya. See, the other known practitioner of Mud Release is Amayuki, and we saw Amayuki use an ability called Mud Doll, which is a bit like a sand clone or a wood clone in that it can incur a lot of damage before it disappears. However, the way it's different from a sand clone or a wood clone is
that a kitty. She wants to play with the sword now.
Which is also the idea of Mud Release Bottomless Puddle, where if you have the unfortunate privilege of being somewhere a Mud Release user is, they can essentially create quicksand, but it's mud, you sink into it, drown. On top of this, Amayuki was able to create a landslide that quite literally leveled an entire village in a valley. So to say that that alone is probably stronger than Explosion Release doesn't seem that inaccurate to me. Up next, we're returning back to manga canon with Scorch Release. You see, I hear a couple of the more seasoned Naruto weebs going, how is Scorch Release this low? And that's because you're probably thinking of Scorch Release as the combination of Sasuke's fire style and Naruto's wind style, which during the war they do dub technically as Scorch Release. That's never sat right with me. Listen, I've got nothing against Naruto and Sasuke doing collaborative attacks. It's incredibly cool to watch. You're telling me that two people combining singular nature elements to make one attack counts as a Genkai? It just doesn't sit right with me because a Genkai is supposed to be individual. I mean, like saying if somebody was standing on water and ice blending into the water.
So yeah, I'm watching something, ranking all the Kekkei Genkai in Naruto. Well, at least save one. And I'm not. The idea isn't that, you know, I'm really getting bored of this.
Basically, anything at Jonin level or high water release can basically completely nullify Scorch Release.
I guess, you know, maybe I'm getting a little bored with running Nightmare Dungeons, but
water release, this is an incredibly powerful jutsu, but against anybody with real chops and real nature releases and experience in water release, it's basically useless. After
But I've been watching, you know, a lot of Naruto or Boruto lately, and it just kind of made me was like, you know what? Like the one Naruto game I played, I thought was really cool, and another one that I've seen played was also really cool. So it was like, you know what? Maybe I could have some fun with a Naruto game.
Like, they could do. And while we only ever saw Sakon and Ukon use his ability to meld their bodies together and have either 4 arms or 4 legs or 2 heads, or
I have quite possibly just gotten tired of just doing this all the time. You know. I mean, it's not the activities themselves that kept me playing to begin with.
So much more they could have accomplished with this as your resident scientist.
It's my build, my pure Minion build that really, you know, I can push dungeons that are significantly higher level than me with no real challenge. I mean, I gotta, you know, watch my surroundings a little bit. Like there, I fucked up bad. But I'm really thinking of switching things up, you know, as far as what I do on my days off. And even though I still got, you know, Diablo 2 Resurrected and Diablo 3, it's still Diablo, you know. And as much as Final Fantasy 16, you know, as good as that sounded, that is hard on my system, you know, with overheating. And, you know, it's pretty expensive. Although the game I'm looking at is only a little bit cheaper than that. But I'm really thinking of playing this Naruto game because it's above all, it's a fighting game. You know, which is, you know, just a complete genre changer, you know. You know, going from ARPG to, you know, to fighting game. And, you know, I'm not the greatest at those, but I don't know. But I am really, like, I'm really into Naruto. Like, it's definitely one of my favorite series. One of my favorite animes. Outside of Sword Art Online, but their video games are, well, they're just not very good. And it's Bandai Namco that makes it, you know. God knows, you know, they've made some pretty good games. But Sword Art games, I don't know. They're not very good, and they're basically all the same. I mean, there's not much difference in them, so. Plus, they're still RPGs. I mean, it'd be no different than playing a, between Naruto and Dragon Ball. Kind of the same thing. Except, you know, I like Naruto way more. So I'm probably going to do that. I just don't know when.
Otherwise, Kimimaro pulling out his own spine would have been less cool and more sad. Kimimaro was also able to fire his own finger knuckle bones out of the tips of his fingers like bullets.
Like bullets.
And the fact that these bones are controlled by Kimimaro, even outside of his own body, he both control their trajectory and their spin, which is important if hypothetically, let's say these bone bullets hit something they can't penetrate immediately. Since Kimimaro is in control of these bones, even after they've been fired, they can keep spinning, which is why Kimaru's bone bullets were almost able to penetrate Goro's fence. So not only does this jutsu basically operate as a vertical fence, as anybody who tries to attack you will basically get skewered hands like your Franklin and the ability to pull a sword out of your back like your Geralt. So
Like your Geralt?
himself is the perfect combination of offense and defense, which is why Kimimaro, even though he was significantly ill, was able to effectively beat both Gara and Lee in a fight. Though obviously life that strength also came from his curse, since we're not considering curse marks or outside factors. We're talking about these gang guys. I can't give curse mark strength Kimimaro to the conversation of Shikatsu Miyako. Though obviously he also would have been stronger, but the chakra disease, so it's kind of a yin-yang. Also, small caveat here, Gara at this time wasn't using his other Genkai outside of Magna Release, because Gara actually doesn't have Magna Release. He was just given the ability to control sand by Shukaku. Gara's Genkai is actually the ability to weave chakra into his sand to increase its density, but he didn't use that Genkai until substantially later in his life because he inherited that Genkai from Ross like his father, who doesn't like. So, if hypothetically Gara Genkai to make his sand stronger and denser, Kimaru's not able to bounce off. But what do I know? I've only read Gara's light novel 4 times. And since we're talking about light novels, we're going back to light novel only Genkai. With steroids. Yes, you were.
Ooh, shit. Look at all this, man. Look at all this.
You need to make steroids.
Damn. Oh, shit. Yeah. I made it, though.
Gara immediately saw somebody use steroids to create new weapons from basically mid-air.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of just the same thing as what 1010 does. It is a bit more useful than 1010's though, because obviously this person doesn't have to pull out a scroll and hit a summoning seal. Essentially,
Not bad, not bad.
Attack, then they can summon a steel weapon to block your attack.
Whoop, look at all them healing orbs.
Kiriko from Will of Fire
Hi,
was able to
kill him.
steal a
Thank you.
release Genkai that allowed him to harden his body into steel, making him essentially Mr. One from One Piece. And with a steel body, the body was basically all but indestructible. Therefore, hypothetically, we can infer that steel release at its highest level of use allows you to make your body into steel and to make steel weapons.
Yep.
And that is the perfect blend of defense and offense, but it's unlike Shikatsu Miyako because things like the head of a user Shikatsu Miyako can't have bones grown out of them. They're weapons. Instead of talking about making weapons out of mid-air, that brings us to our next entry on the list, ice release. See, well, a lot of people might think that we've only ever seen one user of ice release in Haku. We've actually seen 4 users of ice release, and every single one of them has used it very differently. Well, obviously, Haku used ice release to create mirrors that you could teleport between instantly, which when you combine with
I remember that.
is an incredibly powerful technique. Sasuke is also able to use ice release, being shown in Sasuke Retsudan to be able to create an ice kunai that he used to stab a dinosaur. On top of that, in Kakashi Hayden, we were introduced to 2 additional ice users, Kaho and Raho. Kaho was able to place ice particles on people's bodies that would grow, and if the person who this ice particle was placed on didn't constantly use chakra to keep their body warm, they would freeze to death. Raho was able to add ice to his hands and feet to increase the power of his punches. But when we're genuinely talking about ice release, the real person we should be talking about is, of course, Haku. You see, one would believe that ice release would inherently have a weakness to fire release. With a fireball or 2, the ice melts, and then big bang boom, Haku is left powerless. However, ice release has been shown to be resistant to both heat and fire several times. Yeah. Which means that Haku's ice release really has no weaknesses. And when you consider the fact that the only other thing in the universe that allows somebody to teleport instantaneously is flying Raijin, that puts Haku's ice release in an upper echelon of jutsus.
It
now,
does.
Obviously, the scope and size of the
I remember that episode very well.
Smaller than that of flying Raijin. But still, the maneuverability that being able to teleport between ice mirrors on a battlefield gives a user not to be understated. On top of that, there's actually a 5th user.
This is good shit right here.
Yogi is able to shoot out ice shards out of their hands. So when you combine all of these ice
you don't seem like you can dance no more, Inoki.
Imagine if Haku could just shoot out ice particles as he bumped around from mirror to mirror. Or if he was able to place an ice particle on you that would make you essentially freeze to death. Which is why ice release gets our first spot in the top 10. The Genkai that gets our second spot in the top 10 is lava release. Oh, by the way, I should mention
lava!
A combination of water and wind nature releases. Well, lava release is the combination of fire and earth. But lava release is weird. Sorry,
I'm having fun.
Is rarely lava. In fact, there's 4 known users of lava release, and every single one of them has a different form of lava release.
Okay.
The only user of lava release that actually shoots out lava
I'm fucking stupid.
Goku and his respective Jinchuriki.
Son Goku!
The Jinchuriki of Shukaku gives you the ability
Stop doing that,
and maybe even magic release. By being the Jinchuriki of Son Goku, you get access to lava release.
You know, I actually would stream that just for fun.
Was able to make lava in both its solid and, I guess you could.
I really want to buy it now. I kind of shouldn't, because I kind of low on money, but, you know?
The fifth Mizukage able to also use molten
lava. Yep, molten lava.
During the 5 Kage summit, more often than not, her lava release expresses itself as acidic mud. Essentially, she's able to spit out acidic mud that can melt anything it comes into contact with, which is very similar to lava, but different. While lava melts things away because of the heat, Mai's acidic mud melts things away because of its acidity. But while we're talking about Lady Kage's, Koretsuchi the 4th Tsuchi Kage is also able to use lava release. But her lava release manifests as either quicklime or volcanic ash. Koretsuchi's quicklime is essentially concrete. It's a molten rock that after spit out will eventually harden, and therefore it's more used by Koretsuchi to bind large entities such as the Ten-Tails. However, on top of it being technically concrete that will harden with time,
and then there's also, don't forget, Tekemura, which are entities or constructions like the Truth Seeker Orb. Tekemura is the combination of all 5 chakra natures plus yin and yang, or darkness and light. As far as I know, there is no one shinobi in Naruto that has a Kekemura.
Because I don't know if you've ever tried to rip rubber, but it's all but impossible. Because of the versatility of lava release and the myriad of different ways
have I ripped rubber? I think I have.
Fighting styles,
I think I've done that.
And that's just when you consider the offensive capabilities of it. When you consider things like binding techniques and Fuinjutsu that come along with it, it's undeniably a top 10 Kekkei Genkai. However, what stops it from being a top 5 or a top 3 Kekkei Genkai is general lack of range. Lava is heavy and therefore very hard to spew far. However, that is not the case for our next Kekkei Genkai on this list, Boil Release. Boil Release is similar to Lava Release in that there isn't really
it ain't got a whole lot of
user of Boil Release seems to have a different iteration of what Boil Release means to them. When Mei, the 5th Mizukage, uses her Boil Release, it comes out as an acidic fog. And Mei is actually able to control the acidity of said fog. And Mei is actually able to expel this fog at such a rate that she's able to fill
That's the name of that sexy little redhead?
Which is terrifying when you consider the fact that if Mei hypothetically wanted this fog to be incredibly acidic, anything that this fog came into contact with after a couple of moments, let's say 3 to 5 seconds, would start melting. We even see that this fog is strong enough when controlled by Mei to melt a Susanoo ribcage. And while obviously this is the completed form of Susanoo, it's still one of the stronger defensive mechanisms in the entirety of Naruto. This isn't the only way that Boil Release is used. In the same way that Sangoku was able to confer a Kekkei Genkai to his Jinchuriki, Kukyo is also able to confer a Kekkei Genkai to hers.
I don't know how. Kafka. Who's Kafka? Tell me.
Except in this circumstance, it's not lava release. It's boil release. More specifically, it's referred to as steam release. This is also a good time to mention that boil release is a combination of fire and water chakra releases. This steam release is Kukyo and or Han label it, allows either Kukyo or the Jinchuriki of Kukyo to superheat their own chakra. By superheating their own chakra by using the heat of steam, they're able to achieve speed.
All of them were captured and killed.
Essentially, since chakra is the life
all these powerful Jinchuriki with all these crazy fucking abilities, they were all taken.
Which your chakra flows through your own body, you can get superhuman.
I ain't losing that willpower. Or life.
Ability that Han, who was 7 foot tall, was known to be the fastest user of taijutsu alive. Yes, he lived in the era of my guy. On top of this, Han is also able to apply steam around his body, which he can use to apply melting forces to his taijutsu. So when you consider the AoE effect and the superhuman plus the strength and speed you can get from this Kekkei Genkai, I think it's pretty undeniable it's stronger than lava release. But is it stronger than Jugo's clan's Kekkei Genkai? So we don't know a whole lot about Jugo's clan's Kekkei Genkai because Jugo's the only person from his clan we've ever met. But we do know that Orochimaru built his entire curse mark around the existence of said Kekkei Genkai. Specifically, the Kekkei Genkai's ability to always be pulling in nature energy and basically making anybody from Jugo's clan limitlessly filled with chakra. This is to say that basically by having Jugo's clan's Kekkei Genkai, you become a perfect sage. But you become more perfect than a perfect sage. Because even the most perfect of perfect sages still need to sit still in order to pull in nature energy. This was the case for both Hashirama and Naruto. Hashirama would stand atop his wood release and move his wood release while he himself stood still gathering nature chakra. Naruto uses shadow clones in different locations to pull in nature chakra, and once they disappear, he gets it. Jugo doesn't have to worry about any of that. Constantly, anytime throughout the day, Jugo, without any external effort, is pulling in nature energy.
Look, these are all the new ones I just got.
He's hypothetically infinite. Unless, of course, he pulls in too much nature energy, in which case he turns into kind of like a nature energy monster that wants to murder everything around him. This is the tightrope you walk with this Kekkei Genkai. But when you consider the fact that Jugo not only is able to pull in basically infinite nature chakra, he's also able to manipulate his body to have rocket boosters to increase the strength of his punch that
fuck it, we're gonna try 220.
You get an almost limitlessly stamina monster
I'm scared.
They use too much of their Kekkei Genkai will just turn into a stronger monster that still probably wants to kill you. But consider the fact that the strength of this Kekkei Genkai was able to keep Sasuke neck and neck with Naruto for a matter of years. Pretty undeniable that it's one of the stronger Kekkei Genkais in the show. Since we're talking about Sasuke, we should talk about a Kekkei Genkai that got introduced to us from a Sasuke light novel, specifically Sasuke Shinden, Book of Sunshine, or the last couple of episodes of Naruto Shippuden, because they actually decided to animate it, which was weird. See, in this storyline, we're introduced to Nawaki, and Nawaki is able to use an ability called Typhoon Release, which is different from Storm Release. The weird thing about Typhoon Release, though, is we only know one of the elements that comprise it.
This really wants me to. Now I really want to play Naruto.
For all intents and purposes, is basically just wind release, but like really strong wind release. You see, Typhoon Release basically operates very similarly to Tamari's Summon. You know the little weasel with the sickle that was able to make tornadoes that cut down entire forests? That's basically what Typhoon Release is. Typhoon Release allows Milwaukee to make giant typhoons and vortexes and tornadoes with his wind release. These vortexes are so powerful they can decimate surroundings, such as a forest.
That just sounds like fun to play, you know? I don't know. I saw my buddy back in the day playing a Naruto game, and like I knew nothing about any of the characters, and it got me interested though.
It was the same size as a full-body Susanoo.
I don't know if I can clear this. I'll be completely honest. This is high.
Put it on the defensive. It was the fact that Sasuke didn't use Susanoo in the first place was going to move the direction. The Typhoon Release easily deserves to be our top 5. I just remembered that it's actually number 6. Only because the other 5 were stronger, though. Which is why we need to talk about the form that everybody makes.
This is crazy, though. I mean, this is
Storm Release is insanely powerful for a couple.
This is high up there.
His personality is probably the number 1 reason, though. See, Storm Release is a combination of water and lightning release. And Storm Release seems to take that very literally.
Oh shit.
Storm Release we've seen is dark. He was able to use a technique known as Storm Release Laser Circus.
Laser Circus.
To make lightning that can flow like water. That is, that lightning can bend and change direction and crash. And it's not just one streak of lightning, it's dozens of streaks of lightning, all being fired in different directions, being controlled individually to hit individual targets.
Alright.
We can aim at a dozen
I didn't get you
people,
bad there.
every single one of them with an individual laser.
And now I got that.
This technique is a combination of water and lightning. The strength of this ability is not to be undersold. You don't want to be hit with lightning, let alone lightning while it's wet. The other user of Storm Release is Madara. If Madara uses it, you know it's got to be in the top 5 athletes. See, Madara uses the ability Sage Art Storm Release Light Fang, which is essentially what happens when Madara gets a bunch of Senjutsu chakra into his mouth and then he forms it into a literal laser.
No shit, yeah, I remember that.
Fire travels at the speed of light and is strong enough to cut a True Seeker orb in half. Why is that impressive? A True Seeker orb is a Kekkei orb, which means it's comprised of all 5 chakra releases and yin yang. You hypothetically should not be able to destroy them, and really the only reason that this was able to destroy them is because it was made of Senjutsu chakra. But also, I feel like we breezed over that first part. It travels at the speed of light, which means it's basically impossible to dodge and cut the world's hardest object in half. It's the worst thing to come out of a mouth since Boruto was proposed. And I'm going to get flagged for this next choice, and I'm honestly kind of surprised it made it this far down. But
you're not a fan of Boruto.
So we got to stick with it. Next up is
Oh, I remember that.
Can be crystallized. And not just like tiny little baby crystals, massive,
Yep.
human-sized crystals that can deflect basically anything. Crystals are, after all, incredibly hard. In fact, amongst control-type guys like magnet and quick release, crystal release probably controls the hardest element, which is why crystal release is actually incredibly powerful. It's stronger than the majority of physical materials that will be used against it. And therefore, as you try to attack a user, crystal release, it can just crystallize wherever you're about to attack, and most likely your attack will be deflected.
Yep.
On top of that, users of crystal release can crystallize humans, meaning that not only do they have the perfect defense in terms of super hard rocks that are basically impenetrable, should they get their hands on you, they can put you in a crystal. And unless the crystal release is released, you're staying in that crystal. And if should hypothetically somebody strike the crystal and break it, it would kill the person inside. See, while we technically don't know what comprises crystal release, Kiba hypothesizes that it's group release. We do know that it has basically one and only one weakness. It can be broken, specifically by those who are incredibly talented with either lightning release or the ability to manipulate sound waves. Because it...
Interesting shit.
We're reinventing our network.
For total confidence and complete control.
Fast, reliable, perfectly ordered. United States
really any solid at the right frequency and shadow. On top of that, crystal release can crystallize jutsu because they don't have this form, they're only made of chakra. And honestly, this isn't the world's biggest problem, because crystal release has been shown to be able to break things like water release, earth release, and wood release. Therefore, the only true weakness that any crystal release user would really run into would be those who are incredibly well practiced in lightning release. Because how many people are you going to run into that are able to control baths that can shoot out sound waves that break your crystals? That's how this arc ends. You know what? No, I feel comfortable with that decision. And I feel even more comfortable with this decision because coming in at number 3 is magnet release. I mean, come on, this was obvious, but I won't. Magnet release, like lava and boiler release, operates differently for different people. But the differences are certainly less noticeable. See, magnet release allows you to control things that are magnetic, which is why magnet release is kind of weird, actually. What do I mean? Well, there's 3 true instances of magnet release we've seen, at least talking about in the current capacity that I've explained. Rasa was able to use his magnetic release to control gold dust. And since this gold dust was usually tied in with sand, it was kind of like a golden sand. Well, the third Kazekage, whose name we don't know, was able to control iron sand. And Shinki and Boruto was also able to do this. The problem is, gold isn't magnetic, like, at all. So why was Rasa able to control gold with magnet release? Not really sure. So let's say, for argument's sake, that magnet release allows you to control finite metal and or earthen particles. Regardless of how it technically works, this power is incredibly powerful. The most powerful iteration is the one we'll talk about, the ability to control iron sand. By being able to control iron sand, people like Shinki and the third Kazekage can basically make whatever constructs they want out of iron sand to use either offensively or defensively. Shinki is shown covering himself in an iron sand cloak, which he can use to deflect basically all incoming attacks. Should an attack be coming from basically anywhere, he's covered. And since this iron sand is mostly iron, his defense is quite literally iron. And therefore, it's going to be more powerful than basically anything coming in to attack Shinki. On top of that, Shinki and Gaara, the third Kazekage, can create massive hands that can grab onto people, increasing their range and destructive power. The true strongest user we've seen of this magnet release isn't even technically a user of magnet release. Like I stated with Gaara earlier, he's not able to control sand because he has magnet release. That ability was gifted to him by Shukaku. But Shukaku does have the magnet release Mecha Genkai, so let's say that hypothetically Gaara has it as well. We've seen Gaara able to cover entire battlefields with sand and use sand burial on the entirety of it. This is saying that Gaara is able to cover entire battlefields in the sand and then kill anybody in that sand by increasing the pressure of said sand. We've seen Gaara stop meteors from water over the Hells Angel. We've seen Gaara stop the bomb that would have destroyed the entirety of the hidden sand. Gaara's also able to cover himself in a sand armor. He's able to make sand clones that can stand up to significantly more beating than shadow clone. He can create an eye that can float and do reconnaissance for him. His mother lives in his sand gourd and acts as a perfect defense that he doesn't have to control. And on top of all of that, by being able to control sand or iron sand or gold dust, all of these users can levitate sand or iron or gold dust and fly. On top of that, magnet release is usually used for Muin jutsu. Things like Gaara's Grand Sand Mausoleum have been shown to hold Otsutsuki's for numerous hours, while Rasa was able to fight against Shukaku multiple times and seal him every single time. Now, obviously, there's some innate weaknesses with using metal, like lightning, but Shinki has shown the ability that even in the face of some of the greatest lightning cues in this show,
wood release.
Now I can hear everybody screaming, "What? Wood release is at number 2? Wait until I tell you about number 1. Okay? So yes, for the moment, wood release is our second strongest Kekigenkai of all time. Wood release does exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to create and manipulate wood. And while it doesn't sound nearly as powerful as things like crystal release or magnet release, it is for a couple of reasons. One, the scale at which it can be controlled, and two, the implications of controlling wood. See, obviously, the most
I am just
user we've ever seen
watering
was
enemies.
Hashirama, and in combination with his statehood, Hashirama was able to pull off things like true 1,000 arcane arms, essentially allowed Hashirama to create a Buddhist 1,000 armed god out of wood. And this Buddhist 1,000 armed god is so powerful it was able to punch a Susanoo off of Kurama while Madara was riding it. On top of that, we've seen Hashirama create wood golems that are able to go toe-to-toe with Madara's complete Susanoo. We've seen him create wooden dragons that he can fire at opponents. We've seen him use abilities like Deep Force Emergence that can quite literally transform a battlefield. On top of that, Hashirama's Deep Force Emergence does have the added ability of having flowers grow in his tree that can release sleep toxins that can knock out an entire battlefield. And should you hypothetically breathe in too many of these toxins, you will also die. Hashirama's wood release is so powerful that it's stated that the only reason Konoha is truly hidden in the leaves is because Hashirama made the entire forest around Konoha. So that's it for the scale. What about the implications? It's going to turn about. Where are you going to go? If you don't get that joke, I'm not explaining it to you. Wood release, for some reason, that's never really explained, suppresses tailed beast chakra, meaning that if hypothetically Hashirama was to wrap up a tailed beast with his wood release, the tailed beast would start to lose its chakra, which made Hashirama the great equalizer against the strength of the tailed beasts. Because of this, once again, Hashirama was able to create things like his heavenly gates that were able to hold down the likes of the Tails, meaning that in a world populated by 9 basically walking natural disasters, Hashirama had a power that equalized him against it, allowing him to capture 8 of the 9 tailed beasts with no real struggle, and played an important role in the battle against the 10 tails. But in a world where you very, very much have to worry about tailed beasts, especially considering the fact that Madara is trying to use them to wipe out the entirety of the world, wood release's usefulness becomes exponentially more useful.
But you just explained the Kekigenkai that was able to suppress the 10 tails and punch a Susanoo of the strongest tail beast in existence.
What on earth could possibly be stronger than that? I'll tell you right now, you're gonna hate the answer, but unfortunately, it's the right one. The real strongest Kekigenkai of all time is the Kurama clan Kekigenkai. The Kurama clan is a clan that lives within the confines of Konoha, and as a clan, they are fairly well versed in Genjutsu. However, once every couple of generations, a shrine prodigy is born. A child with a proclivity for Genjutsu at the age of 5 that masters in the clan only achieved at 50. A child with so much strength in their Genjutsu prowess.
Never heard of the Kurama clan.
Genjutsu. See, the big thing about Genjutsu is that it's not real, and therefore, if you understand it's happening, you can dispel it. Obviously, there are some exceptions to this rule, like Tsukiyomi. The Kurama clan's secret Kekigenkai that only appears once every couple of generations makes Tsukiyomi quite literally seem like child's play. See, this Kekigenkai makes the prodigy's Genjutsu so powerful that it becomes real to the person it's being inflicted. Let's say, hypothetically, you cast me under a Genjutsu. If you stab me in that Genjutsu, I'll be like, ouch, and then I'll wake up, and I'll be fine. Maybe I'll remember how much it hurt to be stabbed, but I'll be fine. If the wielder of this Kekigenkai puts you under Genjutsu, it will become so real that your brain will make a stab wound where I was stabbed. Meaning that if hypothetically, let's talk about Tsukiyomi. Kakashi was stabbed by Itachi for 72 hours in the span of, a second? If Itachi was the user of this Kekigenkai, Kakashi would have came out of that Genjutsu with 72 hours of stab wounds. He would have died a million times over. This is the power of this Kekigenkai, but it applies to more than just a personal level. See, the only user of this Kekigenkai that we know is Yakuma, and Yakuma was able to make a Genjutsu about lightning hitting the Hokage's office reality. On top of this, she was able to cast Genjutsu over the entirety of Konoha simultaneously, meaning that this Kekigenkai Genjutsu prowess doesn't only apply to an individual level, being able to make a person who feels as though they've been afflicted in a Genjutsu's reality, it gives her the ability to quite literally make reality whatever her Genjutsu is. Essentially giving her reality manipulation powers. So if hypothetically in a Genjutsu she cast over the entirety of Konoha, she decided to kill every single person with blonde hair, Naruto would have been gone. The only other person stated with the ability to make genjutsu of reality in the Naruto universe is Kage. Now, obviously, what comes along with this Kekigenkai is also an entity that lives inside of you, referred to as being that every time you use this Kekigenkai tries to take over your body, because that's not a great side effect. But in terms of what somebody can accomplish with this Kekigenkai, hypothetically, Yakumo could have just gone to the battlefield of the Fourth Great Shinobi World War, used her genjutsu, and just erased the Ten Tails. So, well, I'm sorry that the #1 strongest Kekigenkai is reality. Just like the genjutsu, reality is what I make it. And that's it! All Kekigenkai and Naruto ranked and explained. Guys, do you agree with my list? Do you want other things placed in different spots?
And yeah, I've never heard of this person. Never heard of this clan. I must have missed that episode, or it's not in the show. Huh. Weird. And no, I haven't watched every single episode of Naruto. I mean, not even close. Like, I know I watched parts of the first one. I've watched a lot more Shippuden than I have the original, but that's really all I can really tell you. There's something else I wanted to... Yeah, this one right here. Strongest generation of Kage.
To do sometimes about Naruto characters. Who's the strongest? And while we obviously know who the strongest characters in Naruto are, the majority of their last names are Otsutsuki, or they have a show named after them, what if we took a step away from looking at Naruto characters as individuals? What if instead of ranking individual characters and their individual feats against each other, we decided to start looking at characters as groups? Now there are a lot of notorious groups in the Naruto universe, like the Akatsuki or the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. I don't even want to look at formally created groups. No, I want to look at groups that you join somewhat accidentally. And even though you do join this group somewhat accidentally, they are the strongest groups in Naruto history. And today, I don't want to talk about the Albu or the Roots. No, today, I want to talk about the Kage. I want to go even one step further than talking about just the Kage. No, today, I want to talk about the generation of the Kage. See, every single one of the hidden villages has had at least 4 Kage. While some villages, like Konoha, have had up to 7. But as I was putzing around this morning looking for a video to make, I thought, what was the strongest generation of Kage? You lined up every first Kage against every second Kage, or third Kage, or fourth Kage. Who's coming out on top in a battle royale? And honestly, this is the most excited to make a video I've been in a while, because this video combines 2 of my favorite things: nuanced characters and ranking and explaining things. I'm excited to say that today we're going to be ranking and explaining every generation of Kage, and thus answering the question, what was the strongest generation of Kage that ever ruled over the Naruto world? But before we get to ranking or explaining anything, guys, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. And if you love the idea of me ranking and explaining things, you're gonna love my other channel, The Weeb Commander, or instead of talking about Naruto or Boruto, well, I rank and explain things from all different kinds of anime. And if you just like the idea of me talking about anime, you're gonna love my anime podcast, Otaku's Anonymous, where me and Danny Mata break down everything that happened in anime this week. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So the Kage, hailed as the strongest shinobi of their time from whatever respective village they're from. Some are elected for being war heroes, some are elected for being taught by previous Hokages, and others are a family lineage. But regardless of how Hokage assumes their position, their power is without question. As Hokage operates more like the leader of the military than the leader of the village, since all Hokage technically answer to the daimyo of their land. Which means long before somebody can become Hokage, doesn't matter who they know or who they're related to, they have to be a great warrior. So there is a fair amount of nepotism. Now, as time has progressed, people, specifically Naruto fans, have claimed that the Kage class is getting weaker and weaker. People claiming that the current Kage class we have in Boruto being Kage class yet. And quite honestly, that statement has some merit. But at the same time, wildly enough, it also has very little merit. See, if you look at the current Kage class, based on what we saw in Naruto Shippuden, then yes, they are the weakest. However, when you see this current Kage class, all 5 of them, mind you, throw hands with jutsus, something that no Kage class prior to them would have been able to do or ever even had to think of doing. So it puts the scale of how strong this current Kage class is in kind of, well, constant flux. And while I could sit down and make an entire video about whether or not this current Kage class is the weakest or the strongest, unfortunately, that's not how we're approaching today's video. See, like I've already touched on, some villages, like the Hillstone, have only had 4 Tsuchikage, and as much as explained on Noki, the land is the 3rd Tsuchikage for like 65 years. Other villages, like Konoha, have had 7 Hokage.
Look at this, level 73. Level 70, I'm level 67. Who's your daddy, bitch?
Hokage ruled for about 10 years and then either died or did. So when you're sitting down making a video,
I am good.
Explaining the
This build rocks.
How do you do
I love
it?
it.
Well, if I were to take the current Boruto generation as one generation, what do I consider the last generation? The generation that fought in the 5th Great Shinobi World War? There's a lot of overlap there. And what do I consider the generation prior to the 4th Great Shinobi World War, when Rasa switched out with Gaara? Going about it that way is sloppy at best. So I figure that the best way to approach a ranking and explaining video when talking about the generation of Kage
I'm almost to a level, so I think I'm going to do at least one more. But now I kind of want to play and buy this game and maybe stream it for fun.
Now, for the first 4 generations, this makes a lot of sense, because 4 is our limiting number.
Sorry, I have to. It's gross. I get it.
Pose kind of a small logistical problem, as there's only 4.
When I can feel it, okay, I have to get it out.
7th Kage. But I still think this is the best way to go about it, so it's how we're doing it. However, it is truly unfortunate for our 7th
I can't. It sticks to the sides, the inside of my nose. It makes it hard to breathe. I gotta, you know.
That would be Chojuro and Kakashi. Fortunately for Kakashi in this circumstance, the Hidden Mist also absolutely tears through Mizokages. Because the Hidden Mist lost a lot of Mizokages in war, they elected a psychotic child who's being controlled by Obito and was part of Jinchuriki to be their 4th
He wasn't psychotic, dude. He was fine until Obito possessed him or fucked with him. So.
It's been a bumpy road. Now, unfortunately for Kakashi, Chojuro might be the weakest Kage ever. At least the weakest Kage who we have feats and abilities for. See, Chojuro is a former 7 swordsman of the Hidden Mist, and he wields the second hardest to wield sword out of the 7 swords. The split sword. And he wields this sword with absolute mastery, being able to turn it into a hammer or an axe, or extend its range by feeding chakra into it. When it comes down to being a Kenjutsu practitioner, Chojuro is truly one of the best. And as a wielder of the second hardest sword out of the 7 swords to wield, it's implied that Chojuro could probably wield every sword outside of Samihara, as we've seen him easily hold up the Executioner's sword with one hand. In fact, we learned in Boruto episode 24 that when Chojuro has the split sword, there's no equal for him in Kenjutsu, meaning as a Kenjutsu practitioner, he might be the greatest on Earth so long as he has his blade. And in Boruto, we saw Chojuro defeat the new 7 swordsmen of the Mist with a broken katana while they were all wielding the 7 swords of the Mist. And not to mention in the versus Momoshiki arc, that Chojuro did go toe-to-toe with Kinshiki, and was, with the help of Korosuchi, able to seal him all but temporarily. But outside of Kenjutsu, the only elemental release that Chojuro has is water release. And listen,
I don't use Iron Maiden anymore. It's got intelligence boost, but that's about it.
And unfortunately for Chojuro, Kakashi as Hokage is far from his pride. See, we're not talking about DMS Kakashi here, or even War Arc Kakashi. And while it is vaguely implied that Kakashi got stronger after losing his Sharingan, especially as Hokage, because he no longer has the chakra drain of using his Sharingan constantly, which allows him to use the thousands of jutsus he's already stolen using the Sharingan at a much higher frequency. And in one of Kakashi's light novels during the blank period, he created a mimic for his Raikiri known as Purple Lightning, based off of Madara's Purple Lightning. To say that Hokage Kakashi is anywhere near his peak being DMS Kakashi, is a stretch. And while technically, yes, Kakashi does now have access to more chakra because he doesn't have the chakra drain of using his Sharingan as a Hokage, losing the extrasensory perception, the Kamui, the ability to copy new jutsus, is a big blow to his power. Kakashi has gained in stamina and the ability to drag a fight out. He has lost in one-hit kill ability. So how strong is Hokage Kakashi? Well, the only real feat we've seen from Kakashi after the war arc, that is tossing some mitts with Kashin Koji. Though we don't really know Kashin Koji's motivation, considering the fact that Kashin Koji was actively trying to kill Ishiki Otsutsuki, one of the enemies of Konoha, I don't know why he would want to kill Kakashi. Also throw in the fact that he has Jiraiya's genetics and is kind of conflicted about hurting Konoha. I doubt he was going full out. Now, mind you, Kakashi as Hokage does have a fair amount of light novel feats, like all of his feats in Konoha Shinden, Steam Ninja Scrolls, all of his fights in Kakashi Retsudan.
I might actually take this.
Kakashi Heat and Lightning in the Icy Sky.
I mean, it doesn't fit in with my build too much, but
so we're moving on.
That's interesting, though. I don't know.
The fifth generation of Kage. This generation includes Tsunade, Darui, Mai, and Gaara. Switch out Darui with A, the fourth Raikage, and Adenoki, and you have the fourth Great Shinobi World War Kages. But unfortunately for this generation of Kage, losing Anoki and A, the fourth Raikage, is a massive blow. Darui is inarguably weaker than the fourth Raikage. And while Anoki might have been in his 80s in the Fourth Great Shinobi World War, he was absolutely holding it down for the Kage. His Dust release in Earth Style saved the day more than once. So obviously this team does have some heavy hitters. We have Tsunade, a wielder of the 100 Heal Seal.
So I might actually keep that essence for a rainy day.
A woman who reinvented ninja teams and massively skyrocketed Konoha's ninja efficiency. She's so strong she was able to crack Madara Susanoo's ribcage.
Oh yeah, she was a badass bitch.
So legendary that even while
with badass tits,
she was able to bring her body back together through the power of her summon, Lady Katsuya. Without her, every single one of the Kages serving during the Fourth Great Shinobi World War would have died at the hands of Madara. Darui is the sole inheritor of Black Lightning from the Third Raikage. Tie this into the fact that he's also able to use a Genkai Gale release, which is a combination of water and lightning release. And you have one of the most competent and impressive lightning users in all of Naruto. And an incredible Kenjutsu user to boot, who also, just like Chojuro, went toe-to-toe with the likes of Kinshi. Speaking of Kekkei Genkai, Mei, or Mai, whatever it is the wielder of two separate Kekkei Genkai.
Yeah, that's rare.
And lava release.
Very
rare. With the use
rare.
of her boil release, she's able to make corrosive steam that was able to melt Sasuke's Susanoo ribcage, and probably would have killed him if Obito hadn't stepped in to whisk him away. Well, I guess it was technically White Zetsu that saved Sasuke in that moment, but you get it.
See, Blight is far more useful right now than Sever, because I'm not using Sever. I am, however, using Blight to an extent, so this is once again useless.
So impressive, she was able to redirect massive meteorites that had broken off from the moon as it was hurtling towards the Earth that were about to destroy the Hidden Mist Village. And with her lava release Kekkei Genkai, she's able to spew acidic mud that can melt anything it comes into contact with. Mud, which was also able to partially melt Madara Susanoo ribcage. This woman is the cheat code against Susanoo's. And more than anything, she's
whoa! When did that happen?
An entire battlefield in the stuff and really not have to worry.
I don't remember that.
Lastly, we have Gaara, the child of Rasa, a perfect weapon manufactured from the second he was conceived. Jinchuriki and Shukaku for 16 years. And from Shukaku, he gained the ability to manipulate sand. On top of this, Gaara inherited a magnet-release Kekkei Genkai from his father Rasa that allows him to control the density of chakra in his sand to control how dense his sand is, allowing him to make his sand as hard as steel.
It's still, it's a useless unique. I'm sorry. It is fucking useless, and it is not.
For a little bit, but even after losing Shukaku, Gaara really hasn't lost any steps.
It's not for Necromancer. This is just a general unique.
Being able to cover entire
like none of this
like he did against Kimimaru, and
really helps me. Sorry.
The entirety of it.
It's interesting, yes.
And the second version of his crucible, this would have killed him. Tie that into the fact that Rock Lee not only had to take off his ankle weights, but also opened to the fifth gate just to make contact with Gaara. That is the same.
Damn. Genesis. Oh, okay. This is an ad for, is that game out now? I was shooting a notification when I was out. I'm signed up to receive, Ever Crisis, yeah. Oh, pre-registration. I'm already signed up for pre-registration.
Say to be able to get past
Damn it.
Gara's impregnable.
But yeah, that could be interesting. I don't know.
Which lives in the sand in the gourd he carries around. And the soul of his mother protects Gara from all incoming attacks or projectiles. And Gara's mother has a hell of a reaction time. Gara has gone toe to toe.
I think I think tier 19 is probably about perfect for me.
And Urashiki. And while Gara was pretty consistently foiled by Urashiki, Momoshiki claims that Gara's taijutsu was on par with Naruto's. Which makes sense when you consider the fact that after losing Shukaku, Gara went to go train with Shira, the wielder of the seven heavenly breaths, to make his taijutsu better. And Gara is also amongst some of the top Fuinjutsu users in all of Naruto, with his best ceiling jutsu, Grand Sand Mausoleum, being able to hold the likes of Urashiki for a couple of hours. And we'll obviously Grand Sand Mausoleum.
I am going to pause here. I'm going to go run that way, out this window, over there. So I don't know. Fuck. So I'm really considering paying the money for this Naruto. I think it's like Ultimate Ninja Scorn or some shit like that. Because, okay, here's the thing, alright? Yeah, it's a fighting game, so it's, it's kind of like, it's like a palate cleanser, right? I mean, you play one game for as long as I've been playing, as many hours as I've sank into this. And, you're going to get bored. I mean, it doesn't matter what game it is, okay? I mean, even Final Fantasy VII Remake, alright? Which I consider, like a masterpiece, playing several hours every day, you're going to get bored sooner or later, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with, taking a couple days break, right? Playing something different and coming back, whatever. And if this Naruto game isn't particularly fun or exciting for me, I don't know. I don't know. But, I kind of want to take a break from Diablo 4. No one wants to watch it anymore, It's like, this season really isn't all that exciting. There's not a whole lot going on. My clan members aren't particularly active in this season, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. But there's going to be a story in there too. In the Naruto game, right? There's going to be somewhat of a story. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a whole lot different than watching the show, or even a movie, for that matter, because it's basically it's going to have its own unique story, outside the canon. So that I get to play through and do battle with. So I think it could be fun, but I will at least make this one last level, this one last Paragon level, before I stop the stream, buy the game, download it, and then as soon as I'm on the start select screen or whatever it is, I'll restart up the stream. But I will do that as soon as I get back. I need a drink. So, bear with me. Nobody that's there, because there's no one there. Cut my wife into shit.
Then you got really into like pop. And then we started being pop rock.
I don't want to talk about it.
Wasn't enough to hold Madara as he manifested his Susanoo and broke out of it almost immediately. Outside of god-level threats like Madara or Shiki, Grand Sand Mausoleum is more than enough. But unfortunately, we're talking about generations of the Kage.
Oh fuck! I was already in. Go away!
No,
don't. Why is there no one there?
And only
no one there. You're waving at nobody.
We're going to be talking about with less than 5 Kage for a while. So let's start talking about some real starting fives. We have the first generation of Kage. Now, I know this is going to sound like an unpopular opinion because obviously Hashirama is a part of that generation, but stick with me here. See, fortunately for us, we know the name of every single one of the first Kages in their own respective villages. It was Ichikawa, the first Uchikage, Hashirama, the first Hokage, Redo, the first Kazekage, Ei, the first Raikage, and Byakuren, the first Mizukage. Now, obviously, every single one of these Kage were strong enough to grab up all of the clans in their lands and make a hidden mist village, which means at their respective time they were the strongest people in their lands. And that's great for every single one of them. But that's also the case for every Kage in history. Obviously, all of the Kage who are strong enough to bring together all of these nomadic tribes and make a hidden mist village deserve a pat on the back. Being the strongest in the land of fire, the land of lightning, or the land of wind is kind of a necessity to be a Kage at all. And obviously, this generation does have Hashirama, one of the strongest Kages, point blank, period. Unfortunately, he's the only person we have any semblance of beat. See, obviously, we know that Redo, the first Kazekage, was strong enough to be able to capture Shukaku. But we also don't know whether or not he had help capturing Shukaku. We just know that the Hidden Sand Village was able to capture Shukaku. On top of that, we don't know if Redo was a part of the Kazekage clan. While he kind of looks like Rasa Shimon, the second Kazekage looks nothing like him. All we know, like most Kazekages, is that he was assassinated, most likely for his unwillingness to participate with the other villages and come together in an era of peace. And quite honestly, to throw shade at JFK here, but if you're waking up to be assassinated, I don't think you're the strongest person in your land. I don't think Minato or Hashirama or Naruto could be assassinated by anybody from their village. Even Hiruzen, while he was old, had people trying to assassinate him from the root, and he was fine. So while obviously, yes, we have Hashirama in this generation who's a perfect sage and can wield one release at the highest level possible, he can pull up things like Nativity World of Trees that grow an entire forest in seconds. And these trees can release a toxic gas that can either put you to sleep or kill you if you inhale too much. And then Hashirama had the ability to wipe out entire battlefields in a mere seconds. He had the ability to use his Sage Art True Thousand Hands variable Kano, which is able to go up against a majestic entire Susanoo that Madara was riding in wind. Handedly. His god deity gates were so strong that a nerfed version of him in his Edo Tensei form was able to hold down the Ten-Tit, and even Chewie took for a little while. He is the second strongest Hokage ever, and even if you do land a hit on him, he's probably just going to be able to regenerate from it immediately. However, fortunately, the first generation is the only generation where we basically don't know anything.
Yeah.
Which brings us...
Good point.
Hey, John.
They're from Michelle. I forgot to give them to her.
The second generation of Kage might be the strongest generation out there.
There we go.
That's because everybody amongst the second generation of Kage were certified badasses.
Yep.
All pretty much got brought back during the second generation of World. The second generation of Kage were Tobirama, Mu, Gengetsu, Shamon, and En. Now, unfortunately, we know next to nothing about the second Raikage. We just know that he led the Land of Lightning during one of its most prosperous and powerful eras, when they had incredibly powerful shinobi like Kinkaku and Ginkaku running around killing Tobirama. And if you were to hypothetically lead over Hikaku and Ginkaku, one would assume that he might have been stronger than them. But even ignoring A for a second, the rest of the people on this list were very powerful. Let's start with the people that we know the least about. Shimon. See, Shimon was the second Kazekage, the successor of Redo. And while we don't know a huge amount about Shimon, we do know what he accomplished in his lifetime. We know that Shimon was the first Kazekage to take an interest in Shukaku. That is to say that Shimon put Shukaku through a bunch of different scientific experiments to understand how his powers worked. Now, Shimon wasn't the Cherokee of Shukaku. That more than likely was still Goku. However, it's a possibility by examining Shukaku that Shimon figured out magnet release, or at least how to control sand. And therefore, it's a possibility in kind of my headcanon that Shimon was the first amongst the Kazekage to use magnet release. However, Shimon goes one step beyond this because Shimon is also stated to be the person who weaponized puppets for the Hidden Sand. See, Shimon, with the help of Granite Shield, weaponized puppets that were used for entertainment in the Hidden Sand. And because of this, he guaranteed that less Hidden Sand Shinobi would be killed in combat. And however, if he was instrumental in weaponizing these puppets for war efforts, it's not crazy to assume that he was probably pretty good with it as well. So out of Shimon, we have a relatively talented puppet user and a possible magnet release user. Though he, just like Redo, was also assassinated. So really, we can't give him that much credit. Let's get to the Kages we do that. First up, let's talk about Gengetsu, the second Mizukage. Gengetsu was a member of the Hozuki clan, the same clan that Suigetsu and Mangetsu come from. And as a member of the Hozuki clan, he had the hydrification hidden jutsu, the ability to turn his body entirely into water, making him all but invincible when it comes to physical attacks. And also, as a wielder of the hydrification technique, it also meant he was able to fire off incredibly deadly water bullet techniques from his fingers. He's also capable of summoning a giant clam that disperses mist that induces genjutsu. And even when he was brought back in the 4th Great Shinobi World War and was telling people how to defeat him, he was able to take on entire squadrons of high-level Joni. Ironically, though, he was just as powerful as the person who was brought back right alongside him, Mu, which obviously speaks to Gengetsu's power because Mu is insanely powerful. Mu was considered a non-person because he had an ability that made sure his physical presence and chakra signature were unreadable. It's like he wasn't even there. On top of this, Mu was one of the most talented sensor ninjas ever, being able to detect specific chakra signatures and determine what country or clan they're from kilometers away. Mu is also the wielder of the Keke Toda, Dust Release, and used it at a higher level of efficiency than we ever saw from Inoki. Now, this Keke Toda is a combination of earth, wind, and fire, and it allows the user to create a geometric space that they can fire off at somebody that deletes anything it hits on an atomic level. But on top of this, Mu also wields all 5 elemental releases. He can also use Yang Release and use Earth Release to allow himself to fly. And if you do hit Mu with what appears to be a deadly hit, he can split his body in half to save his life. Though when he splits his body in half, he does half his power. But the true leader of this troop is none other than
Tobirama,
the second Hokage. Tobirama is a wielder of all 5 elemental releases and Yin and Yang. That's
right.
everything. He was the creator of the Shadow Clone Flying Raijin, and he didn't use Edo Tensei in the fun way that a lot of people like Kabuto or Orochimaru use it. He would bring back anybody, and he would control them, and he would make their bodies out of explosive tags. He would then use the infinite regeneration ability of Edo Tensei and just throw these perpetually exploding bodies at people. He is probably the greatest user of water ninjutsu we've seen in the show. He's a Senju related to Hashirama, and therefore has insane chakra reserves. His Flying Raijin Slice was so fast that a wielder of the MS, Inizuna, Madara's brother, wasn't able to detect it, and he very much helped Hashirama cut down Madara the first time. And well, yes, obviously, he lost to Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Kinkaku and Ginkaku also had, I believe, 20 Jonin with them at the time. Now, obviously, Tobirama is weaker than Hashirama. I understand this completely. Having the likes of Gengetsu and Mu right alongside Tobirama does give Tobirama a relatively good fighting chance against Hashirama. And considering the fact that I know next to nothing about the other 4 people leading beside Hashirama, in good faith say that Hashirama will be able to wipe out Tobirama and 4 other Kage who we can scale to some degree. Especially when you consider the one-hit kill ability of Mu's kid, and the fact that A, the second Raikage, might have been stronger than Kinkaku and Ginkaku. But honestly, if you wanted to put the first generation above the second generation, I couldn't blame you. A lot of the assumptions on Hashirama losing this fight are built around the fact that the 4 guys next to him would be scrubs. And Hashirama versus Tobirama, Gengetsu, and Mu would be a pretty good battle. So if the other 4 could at least hold their weight against the second Raikage and the second Kazekage Shimon, then the first generation does hold a pretty good chance. It's just we know so little about the first generation, it's hard for me to put them above anybody. You know what generation we do know a lot about? The 4th generation. Now, this generation had some heavy hitters. Unfortunately, we can scale every single person in the 4th generation.
There you go.
The 4th generation had people like Koratsuchi and Minato and the 4th Raikage. They also had Rasa and Yagura. All people with feats and abilities that we know. Now, obviously, this generation did have a couple of duds. Rasa is the weakest Kazekage that we know of, and Koratsuchi is probably the second weakest Kage of all time, being just barely above Chodra. See, Rasa, Gaara's father, had Magna Release, Hagis. However, his magnet release allowed him to control gold dust. Now, this ability did allow him to battle against the likes of Shukaku several times, but not because Rasa was stronger than Shukaku, it's because his ability was incredibly advantageous against him. The Shukaku's body is made of sand, and gold is heavier than sand.
So not magnetic.
Simply integrate gold into Shukaku's body and weigh him down and seal him with his own weight. Now, the reason that Rasa is probably the weakest out of all of the Kazekage is because he controls an element that is rare, and also incredibly malleable and soft. Now, obviously, Rasa controlling gold was incredible for the Hidden Sands financial situation, but not for their battle situation, which is why Rasa was trying to make the perfect weapon in Gaara. Now, Rasa was able to wield wind, earth, water, and yin release, as well as, obviously, his Kekkei Genkai magnet release. And honestly, with these other elements, he was a menace. He was able to generate a high-pressure water blade that was able to cut through Gaara's absolute defense. He was also able to create an eyeball out of his gold dust that he could use to see just like Gaara, though he didn't have Gaara's absolute defense. And he never picked up a penchant for taijutsu like Gaara did. Though amongst all magnet release users that we know of, he's pretty much the weakest, which is why Orochimaru pretty easily murdered him, and then took his face. Gorotsuchi is the granddaughter of Inoki, who is the grandson of the first Uchikage. I told you, this helps. She has fire, earth, water, and yin release. On top of all of this, she also has the lava release Kekkei Genkai, and that's really her claim to fame. Gorotsuchi can use her lava release in two ways. One of the ways that she can use it is creating quicklime, which is essentially just quick drying cement that she uses to confine her enemies to a certain space. It's like her version of a fluid jutsu, or the fluid jutsu is just cutting a bag of concrete.
Alright. Do. Watch them all melt as if they weren't even fucking there. Boom. Even the almighty Butcher stands no fucking chance against me. Everything I touch turns to blood and guts. Fucking A.
Momoshiki was like, hey man, you need to fuse with me.
Love this build. I will fucking swear by it.
Heavy hitters off this team, like the fourth Raikage, said to be the fastest man on Earth when Minato died. With the use of his lightning bolt, he was able to supernaturally buff his speed, his strength, his reflexes, and his power. Being able to out-arm wrestle the likes of Tsunade, one of the strongest people in the universe. Being able to keep up with KCM1 Naruto speed-wise, the fastest person in the universe. So, objectively not as fast as four. Eddie the fourth Raikage has also gone toe-to-toe with one of his teammates in this fourth generation, Minato. As they came close during the third Great Shinobi War, the fourth Raikage's lightning blow, much like his father's, is said to be borderline impenetrable. And the fourth Raikage's lariat, especially his double lariat, has been enough to decapitate even the strongest of foes. And his lightning release is so sharp, he was able to cut his own arm off in a matter of seconds. And he had the durability and endurance to, even after cutting off his own arm, press the offensive once again.
You just know he fucking hated Sasuke for the rest of his life.
We also have Yagura, the fourth Mizukage, the youngest Mizukage,
and he wasn't evil, damn it.
A perfect Jinchuriki of Isobu, the Three Tails, with the ability to take Isobu's full form whenever he wanted. Yagura was a wielder of water and wind release, and trust me, that's really all he needed. Yagura, through the power of his water release, was able to create water mirrors that were able to reflect all ninjutsu, kind of like the Yada mirror, but he didn't need a Susanoo. In the anime, he was able to fight Juzo and Itachi simultaneously, killing one of them and almost killing the second. Yes, that's right. Yagura went into a 2v1 in technically Itachi, as he had to flee from the scene, and Yagura was left pretty badly burned. See, Yagura's control over his Jinchuriki form was so great that he was able to survive Amaterasu. He was able to manifest Isobu's form and travel high speeds by curling into a ball and rolling. He also used the technique Coral Palm that allowed him to grow coral on anything that he wanted, which, if that sounds stupid to you, allows him to grow it on opponents and slow them down substantially. And not to mention, as a perfect Jinchuriki, tail beast balls absolutely in his bag. The real home run hit of this team, Minato, the warrior.
Minato,
The man who killed 1,000 Iwa Shinobi by himself. The man who saw every jutsu Tobirama created and was like, I think I can do that better. The Flash, the man who received a run-on-site order from every village Konoha ever fought. The man who immediately deduced exactly how Obito's Kamui worked when he was battling against his yellow mask version, and dunked on it. And not to mention, creator of the Rasengan. Minato was so powerful, he was able to save multiple important people from Konoha when Kurama was attacking.
He literally created the Rasengan.
And then seal away half of Kurama's chakra with the Reaper Death Seed. When it came down to it, he was just just like that. Now we're talking about his Hokage form, so he was a perfect Toad Sage, but he wasn't a perfect Jinchuriki like Naruto. But still, he doesn't need it.
No.
Because even when he was alive, he was an absolute menace, being the third strongest Hokage of all time. Yes, that's right. I consider alive Minato to be stronger than Tobirama. I feel like that's not that crazy of a stretch. Everything that Tobirama created, Minato perfected. But unfortunately, even Minato doesn't put the fourth generation of Kage above the third. Listen, while generations like the second or the fourth or the first may have massive heavy hitters like Minato, Tobirama, and Hashirama, the third generation's just got consistency, baby. They're like the early 2010 Spurs. They're just putting the fun back in fundamentals. The third generation of Kage had heroes. The third Kazekage who doesn't have a name. The third Misakage who also doesn't have a name. Inoki and the third Raikage. Now, 4 out of those 5 characters we know a fair amount about. The only one we don't know anything about is the third Mizukage. All we know about him is he was maniacal, insane, and basically the reason that the Blood Fist Village was created. But everybody else on this list are legitimate heavy hitters. Now, we don't know exactly how strong Prime Hiruzen was. He was called Professor. He was said to have mastered every single jutsu belief. And as a 70-year-old man, he fought against Tobirama, Hashirama, and Orochimaru simultaneously. Although obviously Orochimaru hadn't mastered Edo Tensei yet, Hashirama could still very much use water release, and Tobirama could still very much use water release. Now, was Tobirama flying around using flying Raijin? No, I don't think so. Hiruzen, at the prime age of like 76, still had to reflect a nativity world of trees with his adamantite staff. Prime Hiruzen, with Monkey and Enma by his side, was a menace. Hiruzen was the survivor and leader of 2 of the bloodiest conflicts in ninja's history. That would be the Second and Third Great Shinobi World Wars. He was able to pull out half of Orochimaru's soul and Tobirama and Hashirama's soul, meaning that his chakra reserves were absolutely insane, even as an old man. When Kurama was released on the night of Naruto's birthday, he was able to push Kurama out of the village. And while we don't have a bunch of incredible feats for him, it's because we met him when he was 75. Hiruzen in the early days of Naruto was hailed as the strongest Hokage ever. And well, now the claim was made because he was the longest tenured Hokage in existence, and all of the other Hokage died relatively young. Simply having that thrown out about you says that you are a menace, which makes sense when you consider that he can use all 7 elemental releases and had the strongest summon in Naruto's history. Outside of Hiruzen, however, we have the third Kazekage, who was also said to be the strongest Kazekage in history until Gaara came around. See, the third Kazekage could also wield magnet release. However, unlike Gaara or Rasa, the third Kazekage used iron sand, which meant that his magnet release in the sand that he controlled was not only heavier than regular sand, which made him a good counter against like Shukaku, but also meant that he could essentially build iron walls, which is what Shinki, Gaara's adopted son, now has the ability to do. It's stated that this version of magnet release is the highest level of magnet release. And well, obviously, the third Kazekage did die to Sasori. We don't actually know how that battle went down. It could have been an assassination. What we do know, though, is that the third Kazekage is at least the second strongest Kazekage. And what we do know is that the third Raikage, and Inoki, are both of the strongest Kage from their village. And see, the third Raikage was considered the perfect shield and the perfect sword, as it was stated that the only thing that could stab through the third Raikage's lightning cloak was his own hell stab. The third Raikage went toe-to-toe with the likes of Kiyuki in a one-on-one battle, and time invading the third Raikage was just as powerful as the Eight Tails. The third Raikage also battled for 3 days, 72 hours against 10,000 shinobi, most likely killing the majority of them. Because of the power of his hell stab, which is essentially the hidden lightning's Chidori, he could pierce through entire crowds of people, killing them instantaneously, while there was nothing that they could do, because his lightning cloak not only increased his speed and his strength,
look at the monster density here. Oh, fucking thing.
He was able to battle these 10,000 shinobi for 72 hours straight. His chakra pool was legendary. Tie this into the fact that he's the reason that Darui knows Black Lightning, and you now not only have one of the physically strongest and fastest people in the universe, also one of the greatest ninjutsu specialists we've ever seen. But we gotta leave a little space for one of the most legendary, most slept-on characters in Naruto's history.
Yo, man.
Inoki is the only person, and I'm gonna say this again, the only person who participated in all 4
in all 4.
He was the leader of the village for 3 of them. Wars where legends like Hashirama, Tobirama, the third Raikage all died. Inoki survived, only using 3 releases: lava release, dust release, and earth release. powers. Now, by the sheer fact that Inoki knows Dust Release, a Geketoda that requires him to know Earth, Wind, and Fire Release, we know that he knows at least
I can't
Earth, Wind,
carry
and
both.
Fire Release. However, we only ever see him use Earth Release outside of Dust Release and Lava Release in one of the novels. Inoki was in his mid-80s during the 4th Great Shinobi World War and was still probably the most important current Kage. Inoki was able to use his lightweight boulder technique to basically stop one of Madara's meteorites.
What are you going to do about the second one, Inoki? Yeah, we all remember that.
He, at 85 years old, had to battle against his former master, Mu, who, mind you, died in the prime of his life, which means that Inoki, who was substantially out of his prime, had to battle against his former master, who was relatively still in his, with infinite regeneration and infinitely refilling chakra, and still managed to push Mu back. Inoki, at 85 years old, was identified by Madara to be the biggest threat in the Allied Shinobi forces. And at 85 years old,
until he met Might Guy.
Clones with his Geketoda. It said that in his prime, with the power of his Dust Release, he could wipe out entire islands. But he was also so fast with his Dust Release, he was able to defend his village from a meteor shower with it. But Dust Release isn't the only thing in Inoki's bag. Inoki is also able to equip himself with massive rock gauntlets, create rock golems to fight alongside it. He also has gravity manipulation, as he can increase or decrease an object's weight, which is how he's able to fly and how he was able to stop Madara's meteor. Inoki and Hiruzen fighting side by side in the primes of their life would be terrifying. Not to mention you throw in the 3rd Raikage, who's capable of fighting against 10,000 men simultaneously, and the 3rd Kazekage, the wielder of Iron Sand technique. The team may not have any traditional heavy hitters as you might perceive it, but that team working together would be insane. But unfortunately, not as insane as our number 1 sport, the 7th generation of Kage.
Nigga, there only one village and 7 generations of Kage.
They do. It's the Hokage. It's Naruto. Yes, am I saying that Naruto by himself, the peak of his power, is stronger than all of the other generations of Kage fighting together? I am, unfortunately. One of the most popular hypotheticals in the Naruto world is Naruto versus the 6 other Hokage. And quite honestly, people are split on who would win. Naruto in Baryon mode has planetary level defense, he's massively faster than light, and he has very easily city level attacks. Even the entirety of the 3rd generation of Kage working together in the primes of their lives wouldn't last very long. None of these generations would last very long against Naruto. Naruto, through the power of Baryon mode, was able to embarrass the strongest opponent we've ever seen in Naruto's history, Ishiki. And while obviously this mode only lasted about 2 minutes, every single time he came into contact with Ishiki, he shortened his life. But Ishiki had the durability to take these punches in the first place. Nobody we've listed on this list thus far has the durability to take a punch from Baryon mode Naruto. The only people who stand a chance against Baryon mode Naruto are those who have instant transmission, so they can just fly away until Baryon mode ends. But Naruto wouldn't even really need Baryon mode for the majority of these battles. The only person on this list who gives KCM2 Naruto a run for his money is Hashirama. And even then, I would estimate that Naruto is 2 to 3 times stronger than the strongest form of Hashirama. Now, if Hashirama's getting a significant amount of help from the 4 other Kage we know nothing about, and maybe, just maybe, they would be able to beat KCM2 Naruto. But KCM2 Naruto, as an adult, is substantially stronger than Jubito, and Jubito wasn't even able to be held down to the God Deity Gates. Now, albeit this was a weakened version of Hashirama, but still, let's be real, the show is named Naruto. He's winning, which is aggravating because it would be just so much more interesting if one of the other generations was stronger. I had high hopes for the 3rd generation. That's it. Every single generation of Kage ranked and explained. Do you guys agree with my list? Tell me in the comments below. Why goes it down there? Please, for me, like this video.
Fucking Naruto, man.
Hit that note, but you know what? I'm doing it. I'm making a video about a note.
Still, I haven't seen this form yet, but it looks interesting though. It does. Yeah, I'm not going back to D3. Fuck that. Very interesting, though. Yeah, there was one I wanted to see about, can't seem to find it though. Although, this right here could be interesting.
Let's talk about the tailed beasts. It's Sunday, which means it's time for Nick to explain some things. But at this point, I shouldn't have to explain to you that you
Although I am close to making another level.
Video, subscribe to this page, and hit that
I still need to make 2 more before I finish the next board, so...
Anime, well, I do it 3 times a week. So before we get cracking in the specifics of each tailed beast's personalities, powers, all of these kinds of things, let's crack into a little bit of their history. Essentially, everything started with Kaguya and Ishiki. Ten-tails are essentially the seeds to divine trees that, when fed in Otsutsuki, will grow and bear a chakra fruit after consuming the entirety of the chakra and the genetic material on a planet. Kaguya then fed what we either assume to be a random Otsutsuki or the bottom half of Ishiki. To hear more about that, you can check out this video right here, where I explained the entire history of the Otsutsukis to the Ten-tails in order to grow a divine tree. That divine tree then proceeded to grow and take the chakra from anything that got close to it, getting kind of a bad rap, but some people started to worship it. Kaguya falls in love, gets kidnapped in front of her husband, kills all the people who kidnap her because she was an Otsutsuki, overcompensates because he gets freaked out, eats the chakra fruit of the divine tree, and then puts everyone in infinite Tsukiyomi. But she found out that Tenji, her husband, now she knocked her out before he got put in infinite Tsukiyomi. She has 2 sons, they're born with chakra. She's pissed about that, tries to absorb them. They're not all about that. So, in order to absorb them, she takes in the divine tree and becomes a Ten-tails again. Hagoromo Hamura defeat her in a battle, essentially seal her on the moon, and then put the demonic statue of the Outer Path, which is the husk of the Ten-tails, on the moon with her. But in order to accomplish this, Hagoromo had to pull all of the chakra of the Ten-tails out of the Ten-tails, which left the Geto statue, or the husk of the Ten-tails, and then put that inside of himself, essentially becoming the world's first Jinchuriki. This gave him a massive amount of power and also easily allowed him to spread ninju, which was the progenitor of ninjutsu around the world. But time comes for us all, and eventually Hagoromo's old and dying. So Ashura, his son, comes up to him and says, "Hey Dad, you have this thing called creation of all things jutsu, which allows you to..."
And here's where I'm going to stop for the night, and I'm going to try this Naruto game. So I will be back.
Grandma, Kaguya, breaks out of the moon, little foreshadowing there.